Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect.
Welcome people, Lumini here, back again with another episode of the FWA Local to Global here on my channel. Now last time out we got our last two Ascension shows done. They didn't rate the best, if I'm honest. You can see both of them down here, only 32s, but I think we had been kind of working above our weight limit for a little while, so I think it's probably natural, especially considering we use them more as building events rather than like starring events, if you know what I mean. This episode we will have our first 13th hour. Obviously our season finale is due to be 3 hours. I may shorten it because I don't think it needs to be that long. But one of the things we do need to do is we do need to create a match for Chantel versus Alice Inc. So what we do want it to do is be submission. Yeah, so I want to use the ultimate submission. There's the ultimate submission. There we go. But I don't want it to be 30 minutes basically, because I don't think anyone can actually fathom it being 30 minutes. Alright, so we're going to call it the grind. I think that kind of goes along with what we're trying to get across here. So yeah, they're going to compete in the grind. It's most falls, obviously, submissions only. Actually, I'm going to put submissions and you put knockouts as well. Submission and knockouts are the only way to get falls in this match. Oh, you can't have it in there. That probably makes sense, to be honest. So we'll just do submissions. So Chantel Jordan and Alice Inc. to compete in the grind to end their rivalry. Obviously I'm not going to show you who is due to win this, so I'll pause it there. So the next thing I want to do is, on our pre-show or at the beginning of our show, I want to do a contenders battle royal where we put in a bunch of people that whoever wins can challenge the respective champion of their division to a title match on the next show. But I want to do it with the men first, and then maybe next time out we'll do it with the women, because we have to bring in a lot more talent to do it with the women. So from what I've worked out, we've got 9 members. I'm going to do it out of 15 people. We've got 9 people to currently compete in it, so we're going to need to bring in 6 more. So that's basically what we're going to be doing here at the beginning of this episode, is going through and seeing who I think would be good for us to bring it in current. Now I'd like to bring in ACH, but I don't know if it's currently worth it for the amount of money. Maybe we should actually. Oh, and actually no, because I may bring in some European talent. It's just kind of the American talents that I don't think we'll bring in, but I may bring in 1 or 2. I'll switch this to just wrestlers as well, rather than. So I'll scroll through here and I'll let you guys know if there's anyone that I definitely want to bring in. So I think with it being a season finale, I'm willing to go all out on maybe 1 or 2 signings. And I've noticed here that Cara Noir currently is based in southern England. So I think what we're going to try and do is bring in Cara Noir for this one. Because it will only be a 170 per show. So it only costs us 170 to have him compete. Let's say I can't match those 15. It's happy with 15, so I think he would be good for that battle royal, and maybe then the show afterwards he could also be an option for. I think one that makes sense as well that I've wanted to bring in for a while is Yuwa Wada, so I think this would be a perfect opportunity to get him in and see kind of what he's about. We'll bring him in on 3 months. He wants more merch. See 10. He's happy with 10, so that's 2 done. I think we'll do JJ Gale as well. Again, no travel required, quite cheap. I think because of that, obviously we've done the 170 for Cara Noir, we've done Yua Wada for 70. I have done one surprise one, but what I may do is get one more cheap one in and then splash out the rest of the cash on one big signing. And I actually think maybe the guy that I'll bring in might be Danny Black or Tate Mayfair's are the 2 that I'm between. I think we'll go Tate. I think that's more fair to bring Tate in on this one, though I'm going to have to also check availability. So for Tate, 3% with 10, and then I think what we may do, because we got 170 for Cara, 70 for you, 70 for Tate, and 60 for JJ Gale. No travel on any of those deals either. I have got one more big name that I'm bringing in, so we may do one more big signing and then leave it at that. So let me clear this and see who could be feasible for us. I think the guy that I want to do is maybe Martin Stone. I think it would be 300. Bring him in though, so I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. Still scrolling, but that is one that I'm quite tempted by just because of his good technical. He's also got very good psychology and experience, so I feel like he could be a road agent for us after the fact maybe. Obviously basics and stuff are pretty good. He's got very good popularity across the UK and the US as well. He's got driven personality types, easy to do business with, tag team specialist as well. So he is a very tempting one, to be fair. I was also tempted by a man like Darius because he's in the Midlands, so I think he'd only cost us 20 or maybe even potentially 3. It's only 160. Again, got very good charisma, technical, aerial, all very good. Good basics. Got good popularity where we are as well, and it's relaxed, so wouldn't bring any issues. But I'm still looking, but I'm between those 2 right now. However, me just saying right now and then I immediately looked and I saw Mao has also tempted me. He's not super well known in the UK, but he is worth only 50. So I think it would be 250 for him on a 1 show appearance maybe. So that's another option. But actually, I've landed on the one that obviously makes the most sense. Is 100 to bring him over, plus the 170, so it's 270. I think obviously it makes sense to bring over Oliver Carter. We were contemplating bringing him over at some point, hadn't stretched to it just yet. Still unemployed at the moment, so I think even if it's just for this appearance, I think that's what makes sense. Like I said, I'm going to keep the one in my back pocket that I don't want you guys to see right now. But yeah, that should be the rest of the competitors we need for our Battle Royal done. Ika Navarro, who's that? Oh, the Spanish guy. He is a regen. Does have decent technical, flashiness, brawling's pretty good as well. He's currently flabby, which I'm not very happy about, but fundamentally very good as well. Plays legitimate well, doesn't really have anything to write home about there. Considering he's just moved over here, is with RevPro, I think I might actually just offer a contract. But let's see who we've got. Yu Owada, JJ Gale, Tate Mayfair, and Oliver Carter all coming back to us. So let's see what everyone wants coming as. That's a heel, which is fine. Face for JJ Gale, Tate Mayfair was coming as a heel. Cara Noir will be coming. Ika Navarro is willing to come in as well. Oh, I didn't realise I offered a year, but that's fine. We did also bring in our secret employee, but not secret employee, secret talent. I'm not going to show you who that is, so we'll go assign the other ones. Right, so that's all of our signings in. I don't really think we have much else to work out in terms of paperwork wise, but I think do we make a title for the winner of this battle royal, or do we just actually I think I might just leave it. Post next year I think I'm going to put more stock into the tag team side of things, but it's actually quite impressive to see how the prestige of our cruiserweight belts holding up a lot better than any of our other belts right now. These all seem to be slowly deteriorating, which is weird. We've got a lot of long reigns right now. Obviously 284 days for Laura Di Matteo, 284 days for Jackie Polo, and 313 days for Kenny Williams. 7 successful title defenses, 4 and 3. So yeah, tag team titles will be next year's focus most likely, but yeah, besides from that we don't have much else to do. Well, Karen Yuar just screwed us over because he was based in southern England, so that's why I signed him. He's now relocated over to Europe, which means he's going to be another 100 to use, so I think we'll just eat it this time because he has got the 42 popularity, and I think it will be obviously a huge signing for us for one time. But yeah, that is annoying because I literally only signed him because he was based in southern England. But yeah, unfortunately he's decided to move. Right, so we have got a lot of emails going on here. Oh my lord, there's a lot going on. So AWG are currently facing bankruptcy. We've got Krieger, Daz Black and Laura Di Matteo's contracts coming up. Don't care about that one. Gender's training for a fight. Chantel Jordan, Jackie Polo. Basically everybody that we signed initially, their contracts are now up. So now in terms of contract, obviously the first two that we're going to go in for is Laura Di Matteo. We're 100% going to offer her a new contract. She may want more money. She actually does want 100 per show now, but I'm actually fine with that, and I'm going to offer her a 3-year. Let's see what she says about that. She's happy with that, so that's good. We'll try and get her re-signed in the 3-year. Chantel Jordan, obviously another one that we're going to offer new deal to. She's still on 50 per show, so that should be fine. We'll offer her a 3-year as well, 10%. She's happy with that, so hopefully she will accept that. Kenny Williams is the next one that I definitely want to keep on the books. Obviously currently our FWA cruiserweight champion. He has at the moment gone up to 110. What have we currently got him on? He is currently on 100 as well, so we'll see if we can match him at 100 again, but he may want more. We'll offer him a 3-year as well, and then 10%. He wants 110, so it's only $10 more, so not too bad. We'll offer him that. Who do we definitely want to keep on board? I want to keep Amari on board. I think he's on 80. Is that what he's currently on for us now? Actually, there's an easier way for me to do this because I have all of this noted down in the tracker so that I don't have to do it like this. So take a look. Amari is currently on 60 with 20 travel. Now he wants 80. Let's check popularity wise. How has he gone up? So he's gone up from 16 when we signed him to 23 now in December. So actually a pretty significant rise. He did in May, he lost, is that when he got injured? He lost a big chunk of popularity in May, but has rebuilt it again. But yeah, anyway, to the point is we're going to re-sign him. I'll try and get him on that 60 again, and try and give him a multi-year deal as well. Oh, 3 years. You want 80. What if I give you 15% merch? No, alright, well we'll take the merch down and go 70. Actually, I won't. Do you know what? I'll offer him 80. I won't mention travel. There we go. Well, that kind of works out, so we don't have to worry about travel. I think looking sharp. I'd like to, if I can get looking sharp without travel, I may offer that, but if I can't, then we might think about it a little bit. He wants travel, so what this can be. What is he currently on? 50. If you can keep that at 50, I'll offer you travel. I don't really want to go up to that, because this is what we were talking about, obviously thinning down the amount of travel we were paying. Jackie Polo is currently our champion. When are these contracts actually due to expire? So they're all in January, so they would be able to work the show. It would change a couple plans of what I had. So let's see what Jackie Polo wants. Currently says 80 is what he's looking at. What is he currently on? Jackie Polo is currently on 50 for me, so I wouldn't really want to offer him 80 if I'm honest. As well as travel. I'll offer him 80 without travel, offer him a 2-year deal. He wants travel expenses in, so with travel in, I'll offer him 60. I just don't want to go up to 80. It's just not, I'm just not interested in that. 70. No, so we're going to leave that for now, and we may have to change a couple plans with that. I kind of do want to keep, if they would just move, it would also be easier. It makes so little sense that they won't move because they're not even working Scottish shows. Anyway, so what is Luca Pazzi currently on? 30. He wants to go up to 40 with travel in there, which would be 50. So that would take him up to 90. I don't know if performance-wise he's currently worth that. Do we offer him the 40? I'm going to come back to that one. I'm not 100% convinced yet. Right, so let's just check for sure so I can. So yeah, all the southern-based ones we've offered contracts to. I have a small plan with Levi Mill in my head. Currently wants 80. What is he currently on for me? Currently on 70, would be no travel, so it's not too bad. I don't think I'm going to offer him a 3-year deal though, because I don't think I actually want to keep him around for that long. He wants higher merch, so I'll offer him 10%. That's not too bad of a rise. It's only by a couple, well, $10. Raven Creed's another interesting one. She's on 30 at the moment. She wants to go up to 40. It's, popularity-wise, she's only at an 11. That's another thing. Let's take a look at the popularity levels and see what we're pulling in here. See, Luca Pazzi is only at 10, so I don't think he's even worth bringing back in, to be honest. Southern England for looking sharp is 18, up from 10. Oh, he took a big hop of 4 recently. I think I would like to re-sign looking sharp. It's just the travel is so killer. Right now, he's on 50 and he wants to go up to 70. It just doesn't feel good. I think for one of the rare ones, because his travel is rising the way it is, I may offer one to looking sharp, and I have been impressed with him recently, so I think we will offer one to looking sharp. Jackie Polo, what are you saying in terms of popularity? He's up to a 20. What did he start the save on? A 10. So he's actually lost popularity recently, going down by 2. Just don't think I can do it. Daz Black has not been as good as I expected. What's he currently on? So he wants 10 more than what he's currently on. Popularity wise, it's only at 12. Anything here looking like it's rising above? He's actually gone up to 20 in hardcore, which is a bit weird because we haven't had him in any hardcore matches. Technical, he's gone up to 44. Psychology gone up by 1 since we've had him on the books. Microphone's gone up 1. Acting's gone up 1. Star quality's gone up by 2 since we've had him on the books. basics and his consistency and safety have gone up. Nothing in terms of physicals. I'm not fully convinced on Daz Black right now. What about Krieger? What's he saying in terms of popularity? He's currently up to 19 from 10 again, so plus 9 for him. He wants 80 and travel. That's double what I'm currently paying for him. So again, I'm not convinced by that right now. I think for now I'm going to leave the rest and see what happens with these ones. Right, a couple of other contracts coming up here. David Rain, what does he currently want? So he wants 70. He would cost 50 as well. What have we currently got him on? He is on 70 at the moment as well. He's actually, in terms of our booking team, been pretty good. So I think what we'll do is we will negotiate with him. I'm only going to offer him a 1 year covered travel. He wants higher merch. I think we will offer him a contract. Mark Billington's contract I am going to let expire. He has not been as good as I was hoping he would be when we brought him in, and he doesn't have nearly any popularity. So I think we'll just let him go for the time being. Not really worth the re-signing. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for now. We have got some contract decisions. Laura DiMatteo, Chantel, Kenny, Levi and Luking Sharp all coming back. So we'll accept all of them. So just waiting on Omari and Dave Rain. But Nick Riley is actually suited to being a trainer. So I think I will set Nick Riley to be trainer for both our women's and our men's divisions right now, because that will be useful for us for sure. I was looking at maybe changing our base product, because at the moment we do have the 3-win circus British strong style, which events are expected to be. Are they? Oh, this is absurd, this entertainment. So in 3-wing circus, what was British strong style? 95% matches, 5% angles, which I think I want a couple more kind of, what do I want? Classic balance maybe? That's kind of closer to what we're currently running. What I was tempted to go for is maybe a little bit more pro resu or something like that, but I'm not 100% certain as of yet what it is that I'm tempted, what it is yet that I actually want to do. Fans, not epic. Episodic entertainment could be a thing, but we don't have a TV show, so that's only really for that. One I was tempted by was maybe looking into, what was it? I'll go back. Lucha Resu, I guess we could look into, but we don't actually have a lot of luchas at the moment, so might not be any point. We may actually just be fine where we are, but it was just, I kind of wanted to put more angles in maybe, but I don't think actually there's any point until maybe we get down the road. Amari is ready to re-sign, so he will be getting brought back in and on a 3-year. Last signing for now is David Rain coming back in as well. Junie has become ripped after we asked her to change her body type, so that's cool. Has that increased her start quality yet at all? It might take a little bit of time to kick in. So our merchandise has been upgraded now to small time level. We won't be upgrading it again just yet, I don't think, just because it will be too expensive for us to do so at the moment. Pac has actually left AEW now, and it's just employed by TNT. Obviously we can't nearly afford him at the moment, but that's definitely one to keep an eye on. We are currently expected to make about $1 per fan attendance, you can expect to make around $3 per popularity point per region each month for mail order side of business. So not loads of money coming in, but what my hope is that we'll get a very good attendance for our next show, with it being our season finale, and hopefully a lot of people will buy merch. In an ideal world, it's not worth us going up to the next level as of yet, because if we were to do that, it would cost us $750 a month, which means we'd actually only be losing money. Couple more contract expiries coming up here. Progress have also declared bankruptcy at the same time, and a breakup, but that's not something we're interested in. Madman Manson. Now this was always going to be a problem, because Madman Manson now wants 400, which we cannot remotely afford, especially for a non-in-ring competitor. We're currently paying him 50, so there's just absolutely no way that I can match 400. So unfortunately, it looks like we may be seeing Madman Manson leave us here. But there is a couple of other people that we could potentially bring in to replace him, especially with the amount of money that he's asking for. Like I said, I just can't. I would contemplate paying him 100 a show. I may even go up to 200, but 400, I just can't even. I'll offer him 200, but I think he's going to say he's worth more. Yeah, so there's just no way. I can't afford to pay that. So unfortunately, that will see Madman Manson leaving. Paul Tracy, also his contract is up. He currently only wants 40 though, which is he is on right now. So it's basically the same thing. So we're offering him a 2-year on the same amount of money. Oh, you're never going to be working in ring, Paul, so it's fine. He wants travel expenses covered, which I think are only 50 because he's an island. So 90 altogether, not too bad for that. So we'll send that to Paul Tracy. Someone's getting engaged, which I don't care about. Alice Inc. is another interesting one, because I'd love to keep Alice Inc. around. I think, unfortunately, she's currently costing 140, I believe it is, or is it? No, 100. Is it 110 at the moment? No, it's the 140 at the moment. She's obviously got a match at the season finale. Bar that, I don't really have any other plans going forward with her, so I think for now we won't offer her another contract. Now Fox is another interesting one as well, because we are paying travel for him, and currently for us he is on 60, so we're paying 110 to bring him across right now. He's still, it's weird because there it says 62, but here it says 61. You can see he was 61, went up to 62, went back down to 61, then was up to 62 for 2 months, back down in September, then back up, and now is apparently back down. So I don't think I'm going to rush to re-sign Niall Fox. Now obviously I don't want to overwork Scott Bell with him having to cover all of our shows, and if he isn't available for one. But you can see Scott Bell, in terms of improvement, has been going absolutely crazy, so I'm quite tempted to let Niall go and then maybe look for another referee in our kind of rebuild that we're doing at the beginning of next year. So I don't think for now we're going to bother offering Niall a contract and continue forward. So Paul Tracy will resign as well. We're not too far away now from the show, so that will probably be the next time that I see you guys. Right, so here we go, show day. Obviously nobody can be taking the night off. We are expecting 90 fans in the building tonight. We are going to be sticking with the generic venue. Obviously that attendance could change, but hopefully it doesn't change too much. Pre-show incidents. No, man, are you joking? The equipment you used to run your show has been sent to the wrong place. So we're going to receive a penalty, which is just fucking great. It's exactly what we did not need at this point. Oh, that is so frustrating, man. Try and get some creative finishes at least. Got near certainty for Oliver Carter. Don't actually know if that's going to be able to be used. And grab a character idea, which is a big gamble, so we won't bother using that. Oh man, that is so frustrating. And now there's a lot of tension between David Rain and Josh Bevan as well. So our booking team is also having issues. Nick Riley ran pre-show training drills with 4 students: Raven Creed, Sapphire Reed, Alice Inc. and June Lee. He also ran drills for 11 students, basic and safety drills for 11 students on the men's side, which is good to see. We will pop and inspire for this one as we have been saving it up. Right, so this event is probably a bit too long. We unfortunately do have a couple of people that are unhappy as well. Oh, we need more angles actually, because we're going to be penalised for having too much wrestling and not enough angles, so I'll do something in a minute with that. But yeah, at the moment, we're just about over the line. I haven't put a pre-show match on. I'm tempted to bring in a couple local workers and maybe have them perform in a pre-show match, just because there's a couple that I want to kind of test out, like Danny Black. I was tempted by Sam Gradwell as well, so I may bring them in and just see how they perform. But besides from that, the rough card that we have right now, obviously I've got at an angle, will be opened up with Young Lions and Mark Billington, Herman Christensen, Ika Navarro, the new signing, and Mark Billington in a triple threat. Then June Lee will take on Raven Creed before the Contenders Battle Royal. That will be followed by Alice Inc. versus Chantel Jordan. Then the 5-way for the Undisputed title. Women's Championship. Actually, I might swap that. Yeah, because then I've got an idea. So it'll be the Women's Championship, then the Undisputed title match before the main event, Kenny Williams versus Zosiah, with an angle after that. I now have another angle that I want to add in quickly, so let me do that. Alright, so there we've got everything in. We do, like I said, have a couple of negatives because someone on the card doesn't want to win, doesn't want to lose, and also I had to change one angle because I changed the booking. So before I do that again, let's get into the card so that we can make sure. Obviously I might change it again, but there is one thing that I do need to do, and that is right. Let's get into it. So in our opening angle, David Rain, I don't know why I keep calling him David. Dave Rain and Madman Manson break down the card for the evening. Actually got a 45. We have 91 people in the building, so we actually have more than we were expected to, which is great for us. Dave Rain did underperform. The performance from Madman Manson was good. Dave Rain struggled to improve improvised dialogue, and Madman Manson did a great job. So really, Madman Manson carrying the whole thing there. But a good 45, so I don't really care who outperformed who. The first match, obviously I'm not expecting anything that good, but 30 isn't bad, to be fair. Ika Navarro defeated Herman Christensen and Mark Billington in 30 minutes 28 when Ika pinned Hermanson with a Cazador. It was built so that they could work the crowd, and that's worked perfectly. Herman Christensen getting a 18, Ika Navarro actually getting a 35 with Mark Billington up to a 24, so one of his best performances yet. Ika Navarro, El Cazador gimmick got an initial rating of great as well, so we may have another decent little star on our hands there. We'll need a picture because I think he will be sticking around. Herman Christensen was off of his game for some reason though, so that's not particularly great. But yeah, 30 isn't bad to start your show off in a match that I thought was probably going to be a flop. Next up we do go on to a 22, which again is not really overly surprising, but Raven Creed did defeat June Lee in 12 minutes 51 with a neck breaker, 17 for June Lee and a 34 for Raven Creed. Apparently the bout dragged in the middle. which isn't great considering they didn't have that long, but yeah. Both performing, so not too bad. And welcome everybody to 13th Hour. I will be your commentator for some of tonight's action alongside my post-com partner Lou Manny, and I will simply be known as Co-Manny. Today we are seeing the entrances for what will be the 15-man Battle Royale, in which the winner will get the chance to challenge the champion of his respective division at New Dawn 2. We have Cara Noir, Charlie Sterling, Daz Black, Golden Boy Santos, JJ Gale, Levi Muir, Luking Sharp, Leon Cage, Luca DePazzi, Nick Riley, Tate Mayfairs, Uwawada, Miles Kamen, Oliver Carter, and FWA original Jody Fleisch vying for the opportunity to have a championship match at New Dawn 2. This one is going to be action-packed. This one is going to be thrill-filled. And we have no idea out of these 15 men who could wind up on top. So ladies and gentlemen, no, we will not be watching this match live. Please stick with us as we're going to hand things back over now to my post-com partner Lou Manny, who will take you through the results. Next up, we move into an absolutely huge 59. There's a bit to break down, so we'll talk about that quickly. So in this match that had superb wrestling with good heat, Oliver Carter won the overall Battle Royal. I did go back and forth between Oliver Carter and Jody Fleisch. Obviously, Jody Fleisch being an original FWA member, the company before us. But I think in the end, it made more sense for Oliver Carter to win. Took 19 minutes 33. The order of elimination was Daz Black. Now what happened with that one was a miscommunication between Daz Black and Charlie Sterling, as Daz Black was facing down Nick Riley. Charlie Sterling went to break it up, obviously with Nick Riley being his former tag team partner. Daz Black would not realise who it was and try and push Charlie away, leading to Nick Riley being able to eliminate him. Next up was Tate Mayfairs out, and then Leon Cage. I did want Leon Cage to be in there for a bit longer, but unfortunately his injury was just too much for him, so we did try and get him out of there quickly. And apparently it's taken a big toll, which also isn't great for him. Levi Muir would be out next with Uwawada, who actually benefited from having a groundswell of public support, so he may be someone that we want to keep around a little bit, because it looks like he has got quite high popularity. Luke DePazzi would follow that, then Miles Kamen, then JJ Gale, Golden Boy Santos would follow before Jackie Polo would come out to ringside and try to kind of not influence Charlie Sterling, but kind of try to tell Charlie Sterling that he would need to be the one to get Nick Riley out. It wouldn't turn out to be that way, as it would be Jody Fleisch that would then eliminate the Echelon member after Jackie Polo distracted him and took his attention off the match. It would then go down to the last few, where Cara Noir would be eliminated by Luking Sharp. Luking Sharp would then be eliminated by Nick Riley, before Oliver Carter would put Nick Riley out. Then into the final two, a bit of back and forth between Jody Fleisch and Oliver Carter, but it would be Oliver Carter eventually getting the win and eliminating the FWA original and earning himself a title shot at some point whenever he decides he wants to cash that in. So yeah, very good match, very good opener for us. It's going to be actually pretty tough for the rest of the card to live up to a 59. But let's see if anyone can do it. So in a match that I thought would be a little bit better, Chantel Jordan would defeat Alice Inc. in the grind, which was the special not tag team, what am I trying to say? The special submissions match that we would put on. It would only get 30 in the end. I'm stealing the limelight back as we are going to watch some highlights from this match. Alice Inc. up against Chantel Jordan in the grind. A match that, if we're honest, heavily favours Alice Inc. in this one, but Chantel Jordan was the one who would throw out the challenge for this one. So let's get into some highlights and see what went down between these two absolute badasses. 20 minutes on the clock. As you can see in the top corner, things would start off with a strike offense flurry between Chantel Jordan and Alice Inc. Obviously Chantel Jordan early on taking advantage of that fact, trying to go for the roundhouse, but actually turns it around into a spinning kick, dropping Alice Inc. in the early goings of this match. But Alice Inc. now with a big kick to the abdomen, trying to go for the roundhouse herself. Both these women utilize that move to great effect. We've seen them put out many a competitor on both sides using that exact kick. And now Alice Inc. dropping down early, taking the arm of Chantel Jordan, but going across kind of an omoplata, but not fully because she didn't have the lock around the face. Instead going to the other arm, but Chantel Jordan wastes no time in scooting out the side of that one and getting free. However, she's going to be swept back down once again into the exact same move, and this time Alice Inc. getting a bit more in it, but no, a big elbow delivered to the face of Alice Inc. will break this one up. Now Chantel Jordan, big shot and a massive German suplex, dropping Alice on the back of her neck. Chantel Jordan yet to actually try a submission in this one, seemingly wanting to wear down her opponent using the strikes. Like I said, you would have to give somewhat of an edge in the striking to Chantel Jordan in this one. Though we know, ooh, big splash from the top this time from Chantel Jordan though. Though we know Alice is a very well-versed striker herself, she definitely has the grappling edge, and she's going back to that arm once again. She's clearly found a weakness in the defense of Chantel Jordan, and she has gone to the well 3 times now, but Chantel managing to get out each time. What have we got here? The arm is hooked. Oh, a sit out kind of power bomb with the arm hooked in a hammerlock. Looks like Chantel may also be targeting the arms of her opponent. Both women so far, all their offense. Oh my god, a spear out of Alice Inc. That is something I haven't seen from her yet in her time with FWA. Pulling out something maybe a little bit different. Judo throw now, dropping an elbow across those arms again. As I've said previously, we've seen that the early attack, the early assault from Alice Inc. seems to be towards those arms of Chantel Jordan, and she is keeping up that attack right now. Surprising to see these two women working on the outside right now, considering the match cannot be ended on the outside. This match obviously is somewhat of an Iron Woman match in a submission sense, so you need to get as many falls as you can to win. Oh, Chantel's head, you could just hear it ring off the post there. Somehow she's still conscious though and kicks Alice off. Alice now trying to drag her back over to the ring maybe, but no, Chantel delivering elbows to the abdomen, trying to go for a big kick, but it is countered by Alice. Alice just seems to have the upper hand in this one now, as we see a big hip toss into a knee drop to the face. Like I said, or as I was saying should I say, it's surprising to see them handling this on the outside right now, considering you need to get as many falls as you can. Oh, Meteora, as Chantel Jordan was stunned from the impact with the barricade. Now Alice Inc. just throwing across, and then some sort of senton as she was running up to her there. This is an assault on the outside so far from Alice Inc. But Chantel now trying to get herself back into this match. Oh, it's a huge Superman punch, and we may have seen a knockout. Alice Inc. may be out here, ladies and gentlemen, as Chantel drags her back over to the ring and now puts her back in. Chantel may be looking to get the first fall right now with a submission, but Chantel hesitating. What's she waiting for here? Seems like she's kind of trying to work out what to do. Like we've said before, submissions aren't really something that we know Chantel has in her locker, but this is a match that she put out there, so you have to imagine she's been training it. But there's the roundhouse, and Alice Inc. is out. She's out on the mat, but Chantel can't win the match this way, but now is dropping down into an armbar. Is Alice going to tap here after the roundhouse as well? She must be stunned, not knowing exactly where she is, but no, not tight enough from Chantel this time. Alice scoots up the side. And now the roundhouse back from Alice Inc. She delivers her own roundhouse and now is going to follow it up with what looks to be a single leg Boston Crab. Chantel now in a world of trouble. Who will be the first to tap? It won't be Chantel this time around as she sweeps the leg to get away. Whip off into the corner now. Chantel is going to go to the body, looking just to do some damage to her opponent with those strikes still. Hooking Alice upside down, but no, Alice delivering a big shot to the top of the head of Chantel. Chantel now with Alice, taking her over to the ropes. What could we see here? She's going to go back to that arm, and it seems both these women are looking to damage the arms of their opponents. Grapple now from Chantel, sends her off into the corner once again. What is she looking for this time round? Just going to be a simple scoop slam, putting Alice down on the mat as Chantel goes up to the second rope. She's going to call Alice to her feet here. What could Chantel be looking for? Goes for the dropkick, but miss. We are 6 minutes now into this match, or almost 6 minutes should I say, and we still haven't got a fall as Chantel just about dodges that side heel kick, but she does get swept down. Now the armbar locked in, but too close to the ropes. I would have expected Alice Inc. to be a little bit more aware of her surroundings there. Alice now just dragging Chantel to the middle of the ring. You have to imagine she's going to look for another one as she delivers another shot to the arm, and then a stomp to the face, but Chantel has recovered back to her feet, but a step up insecurity is going to stop that offense. Chantel is just struggling to get a lot of offense going in this match so far, as she is then clotheslined out of the ring altogether. Now a slingshot over the top into the crossbody from Alice Inc. It's an absolute onslaught of offense so far from Alice as she slams the arm of Chantel on that concrete floor. Obviously there are mats there, but those mats, they do not stop a lot of impact, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you. 13 minutes to go in this match, and like I said, there are still no falls as of yet. And now Alice somewhat just taunting her opponent. We've seen her do this to Chantel in the earlier matches, and it did come back to bite her in those matches. Will the same happen in this one? Now Alice going for something, but no, she gets countered and her shoulder gets driven into the mat as Chantel looks for an aerial offense once again, calling Alice to her feet again. Could it be another drop kick from the top this time? No, it is a diving crossbody that lands. Chantel now picking Alice up to her feet again, and then goes with the tilt-a-whirl neck breaker. But she needs to go for that submission, and this time she is going for it. The armbar is locked back in again. Alice not close enough to those ropes to reach them, but she is going to manage to squirm out. It seems like Chantel just does not have that armbar locked in fully as of yet, and it is leading to Alice being able to get out. Now the strike offense being locked in, and now more damage going to the arm of Alice. She's looking to pull that shoulder out the socket of Chantel Jordan. Now what are we seeing here? Alice going to the arm once again, trying to bring Chantel down, but no, it's going to be shots to the abdomen instead, creating a little bit of separation. But Chantel now with a big shot to the abdomen herself, and then the pile driver. You have to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if pins were possible in this match, oh my god, Alice is back up to her feet with a shotgun dropkick straight to the face. Now Chantel on the outside of the rope. She is in a world of trouble. She is stunned, and her best shot has arguably been just absorbed by Alice Inc. and nothing has come of it. Big forearm shot now. Chantel is on Dream Street, and Alice may be looking to put this one away with that armbar that we've seen her lock in a couple times already. What is Alice doing? Just looking to see where it is that she wants to take advantage of her opponent. Oh my god, no. Instead though, she's going to pick Chantel up with the foot and deliver the black mass. Chantel is out, and then the single leg Boston Crab that we saw her go to earlier. Chantel did sweep the leg on that one, but Alice has sat down on it this time, and Chantel has to tap. Almost half the time gone, and our first fall to to Alice Inc. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I'm not even remotely surprised. Chantel has been on the back foot, and another black mass to the face of Chantel. She may be done in this one, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say, if knockouts or pins were possible, this match may already be over, but incredibly, Chantel is back up on her feet, and she's going to take Alice to the outside and drop her back first on that flooring. Now Chantel looking to do a lot of damage to the arm here, as you can see her just stretching down the shoulders. Alice in a world of trouble here. Oh, and the stomp that may have snapped Alice's arm. She may be ready to tap already. Chantel now just sending her to the other side, but Chantel needs to get a bit of urgency in her game here, because she is one fall down and we are halfway through the time. Little chicken leg dance from Chantel there, just taunting her opponent. She needs to not focus on stuff like that so much at the moment, because like I say, she is one fall down. Alice has got this one in the bag right now, trying to go for that roundhouse again, but instead reverse it with a back heel kick to the face, stunning Alice Inc. Chantel needs to get Alice back in the ring. It's no use doing all this damage on the outside where you can't lock in the submission. She looks for a black mass of her own, but instead goes to the well once again with the Superman punch. And like I said, if there were pinfalls in this match, I feel it would be over, and I feel Chantel may have even been the one to finish it, as she hooks up another chicken dance here, just taunting her opponent, daring her to get to her feet. Look at her vibrating. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's going over to her now. Going for more offense on the arm once again. Stomps to the hand this time. Maybe looking for extra damage to those limbs so that she can try and put this one away. But the control doesn't last for long, as Alice Inc. now is fighting her way back into this one. And she's going to whip off Chantel into that barricade again. Chantel going shoulder first into it. And now delivering a brutal forearm on the mat. Ground and pound. And that's not just one, it's two. Chantel though delivering the kick to the top of the head. The feet of Chantel Jordan are well versed. Oh, sending Alice Inc. rib first into the stairs. That was a disgusting impact for Alice Inc. there. And she gets sent into them once again. It seems like the focus of where Chantel Jordan is trying to end this match on Alice Inc.'s body is changing. Chantel Jordan now getting back into the ring, and she's going to look to line her up for something here. Is it going to be a submission? No, it's another roundhouse, but Chantel keeps going to this well. She can't end the match with this. She needs to work out something different, because like I said, if knockouts or pinfalls were in this match, Chantel would be well on her way, but they are not. Delivering another shot to the spine. That midsection and back of Alice Inc. is in trouble, but the armbar is what Chantel is going to go for. She's wrenching back on it, and Alice Inc. does have to tap. Somewhat surprisingly, I would have to say, but maybe it was damage mitigation. I feel like Alice feels she had this one in the bag if she can just swing momentum once more, but maybe I'm wrong, because Chantel seems to be taking over. Big shot to the face now, and both women are just going to go back and forth with some brutal strikes here. Chop for there, then a big round punch followed up by a huge chop, and Chantel stumbled back there. Both women stumbling back and taking time for either one of them to deliver these shots, but Chantel gets the advantage, delivering the punch followed by the chop. But Alice Inc. is still up on her feet here, but Alice now taking the advantage, but no, Chantel stops Alice. This is a brutal strike fest back and forth, and we've got a hockey fight in the middle of the ring. Like I said, this one isn't pinfalls, this isn't knockouts, but these women, things between them have become so competitive that they are just beating the life out of each other anyway. Drop down with that neck breaker once again, but no, as Chantel was trying to lock in another submission, Alice delivers a shot to the head, and then the roundhouse from Alice Inc. Chantel instinctively trying to get back up to her feet, but I don't think anyone's home right now, as Alice delivers another brutal elbow drop to the arm after the judo throw. Alice now locking in that Fujiwara armbar, and she is wrenching all the way back on Chantel, almost getting her shoulders to touch. How is Chantel holding on to this one, but she won't tap, and you can see the frustration from Alice Inc. just coming out there. Chantel in a world of trouble now though. Alice Inc. gonna line her up for an uppercut, big back elbow. She's gonna send her face first into turnbuckle, and then the tiger feint kicks sending that turnbuckle into her face, and then the slingshot side kick to the face, and now the single leg Boston Crab getting locked in once again with only 5 minutes and a half locked on the clock. She is sat down on it once again, and Chantel has to tap. It looks as though Chantel is just too much to ask for her right now, as Alice Inc. has taken a decisive 2-1 lead in this match right now. Alice Inc. not relenting on the abuse that she is putting out there. Chantel tried to desperately go for a clothesline there. You saw it, but she could not get it. And now Alice Inc. is just waylaying on her. But Chantel managing to get some separation with some elbows to the abdomen. We saw the abdomen of Alice Inc. take some damage on the outside. As you can see, we're into the final 5 minutes. Chantel lining something up here, trying to go for a big drop kick to the head, but misses. Alice Inc. big forearm stun Chantel down to the mat again. I'll be surprised at this point if both these women don't walk away with some sort of concussion in this match. Chantel though manages to catch her with a roundhouse once again to the top of the head. 4 minutes and a half, and now a new submission here, a bow and arrow like submission from Chantel. Can she get this one? She's pushing on the back, and we saw the abdomen get damaged earlier of Alice Inc. and it has come in huge for Chantel Jordan here, as Chantel has managed to take advantage of that one. 2-2 now between these two women, with only 4 minutes remaining on the clock for someone to try and get a decisive fall and walk away as the winner of the grind. Chantel bringing the action back into the ring, and she's going to look to go up top one more time, maybe for another big splash, doing more damage to that abdomen, but no, calling Alice Inc. to her feet, and a big drop kick to the top of the head. Chantel, for me, seems a little bit too obsessed with trying to get this knockout. Knockouts aren't a factor in the grind, the match that she called for, but she is just delivering punishment after punishment to Alice Inc. And this has become so personal between these two, as the armbar is locked in once again for Chantel Jordan. But not tight enough once again, as Alice Inc. manages to get out of the side and now delivering big shots to the top of the head. Alice Inc. going to follow in with this one, going for an armbar of her own, but Chantel Jordan is too close to the ropes. You saw her just extend that leg out, almost getting just a toe on the rope as she rolls to the outside to try and get a little bit of separation, but Alice Inc. is going to follow her with a suicide dive. Alice now going back to the attack on those arms. We know those arms of Chantel Jordan at this point have to be weakened, but the jaw may be weakened even more. We've seen her be rattled by one of these already, and now another one, a second or maybe even third black mass to Chantel Jordan. Alice needs to get this one back in the ring quickly to try and wrap this match up, as there is only 2 minutes and a half remaining for one of these women to get a decisive fall. Alice Inc. now back into the ring, trying to take advantage, but she took too long on the outside, trying to work out where she was going for her next angle of attack. And now the kick offense of Chantel Jordan is coming through once again. Big kick to the leg, dropping her down, stomp to the hand, and then a shot to the back. And we are seeing the focus fully switch from the arms of Alice Inc. to the back of Alice Inc. from Chantel Jordan, but she gets swept down, caught once again with that leg scissors to the arm, and she is wrenching on the shoulders and on the arms, but Chantel Jordan manages to hang in this one. Chantel now back up to her feet, and she's going to deliver a shot to the abdomen, and another pile driver to Alice Inc. Alice Inc.'s neck must be screaming. Maybe that would be an angle of attack for Chantel Jordan as she drags Alice Inc. back to the middle of the ring. What is she going to look for now? Just more stomping offense, but no, she's going to go for the bow and arrow once again, locking it in one more time. Can she get the tap this time, as she got last time, wrenching on the back and the neck? But no, she clearly didn't feel like she was going to get it, because Alice Inc. has scooted away. Alice Inc. now struggling on the outside of the ring. Chantel Jordan delivering elbows to the neck and chest. Big shot to the head, and then a drop kick. More damage done to the neck and to the back of Alice Inc. Chantel dragging her back up to her feet, sending her into the ring. What is Chantel going to do here? Chantel, another shot to the back of Alice Inc. and she's going to look to go up top once again, definitely keeping the damage on that midsection. Big splash, but no, Alice Inc was aware of it. 50 seconds left and the roundhouse kick is landed from Alice Inc. Alice Inc has got Chantel Jordan in a world of trouble with only 40 seconds remaining on the clock. She's going to lock in that Fujiwara armbar once again. Is Chantel Jordan going to tap to it as she did before? Alice Inc wrenching all the way back on it. Chantel must be in a world of pain, but no, she manages to get out of this one. But Alice is looking to line something up here with only 23 seconds left. Tries to go for the roundhouse, but Alice gets her leg swept out. Chantel dropping her back down onto the mat. She's going to look for the bow and arrow once again. 15 seconds now left in this match. She has got her in the bow and arrow position and she makes her tap. 9 seconds left. Chantel Jordan may be about to win this one. 5 seconds. Alice Inc struggling to her feet. She can't get to her feet. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The match is over and your winner is the bad girl. The baddest girl on the planet, Chantel Jordan. There was a couple of problems with the length of this match. It was due to be 30 minutes. I did work it down to 20 to kind of make it believable, but both women didn't really have the stamina to go that long. It seemed only a 32 for Alice and a 39 for Chantel, so not a great performance from either overall, but does give Chantel a bit of momentum. She does outperform Alice, so it shows that we picked the right winner at least, and that will be the end of the Strikers segment. Obviously, not Striker segments, Strikers storyline, obviously, with that now being the 2-1 win in the 3-match series between the two. This is 13th hour, and of course I wasn't going to be gone for long as we've got another match commentary coming up here. This one for the FWA Women's World Championship. Challenger Sapphire Reed taking on the dominant champion Laura Di Matteo. Laura Di Matteo has been champion for approaching 500 days, and it's not the first time that these two will meet for this title. However, last time Casey Owens was also a part of this match, so the first one-on-one match between Sapphire Reed and Laura Di Matteo for the FWA Women's World Championship. Sapphire Reed, the young up-and-comer, wanting to take the belt off of the absolutely dominant champion. Defense after defense under the belt of Laura Di Matteo, almost 500 days, and Sapphire Reed flying out the blocks here, trying to go for an early clothesline, but Laura Di Matteo counters, but is countered back into a quick roll-up. However, not even a 1 count for Sapphire Reed here. Sapphire Reed donning her cutthroat attire, the attire of the more brutal side of Sapphire Reed. She wants to be cutthroat and she wants to be FWA Women's Champion. Sapphire Reed now taking the lead in this match right now, sending Laura Di Matteo to the outside of the ropes. What will we see here? Big shot to the face. And she's going to drag her through the ropes. Oh no, snapping her head off the middle rope. And you saw her, Laura Di Matteo's head, the back of her head, ricocheted back off the top rope. Sapphire now sending Laura off, but no, the champion managing to recover, managing to counter back, but Sapphire dodging the kick that Laura Di Matteo was going for, then just snapping her head straight back into the mat. Knee drop to follow. Sapphire Reed is taking control of the early goings, however, trying to go to the well one too many times with another knee drop there. Laura Di Matteo, you do not want to let her start getting on the roll. Referee, get out of the way, what you're doing. Laura Di Matteo now getting Sapphire Reed up on the shoulders, and a white noise delivered, and then a big stomp to the abdomen, followed by a hammer blow to the top of the head. Sapphire Reed, though, not one to be kept down easily, sweeping the legs out, but she can't take advantage of that offense as the champion is starting to get in her flow. Big forearm shots, now a shot to the abdomen, double underhook, and suplexed over. Sapphire Reed rolling to the outside, the champion feeling confident. Is she going to look for a dive here? Yes, she is, through the middle ropes. Suicide dive, dropping the challenger. Laura Di Matteo has absolutely wiped the competition out of the division right now. She may have another challenger coming her way soon, with the rest of the division looking to be the one to dethrone her, but right now the focus is fully on Sapphire Reed, and she is giving Laura Di Matteo a great match early, trying to go for a chop there, but the champion using her speed to duck underneath, sending Sapphire Reed off into the rope, drop down, and then going to go for the sweep. big double stomp to the chest of Sapphire Reed. Now offense on the arm from Laura Di Matteo, and a big shot to the spine, full body assault coming in from the champion. What is she looking for here? It's going to be an exploding suplex, but no, Sapphire manages to counter out with an elbow to the back of the head as she looks to go for a belly to belly, but is instead met with a big clothesline, second one, and then a jumping side kick from the champion may have stunned her challenger there. You can just see Laura Di Matteo has a little bit of everything, a bit of agility, a bit of speed, a bit of strength, a bit of grappling. It's incredible to see just how well Laura Di Matteo can mix up her attacks. So she goes for a scoop slam here, going for the pin off of that, and actually manages to get a 2 count. The onslaught of offense and the pressure that she puts on her challengers, that is what seems to catch them off guard, and that seems to be what everybody has been struggling with in the division so far. Sapphire now whipped off into the corner as the champion's going to look to go again for the scoop slam, but no, Sapphire learning this time and then going for the inverted DDT, dropping the champion down. Laura stumbling back to her feet, trying to go for the grapple, but you can see the agility of Sapphire Reed coming to the fore, but not enough as the strikes come in now. Big hammer blow to the back again of Sapphire Reed. Sapphire Reed in a world of trouble. The double underhook coming in, but Sapphire Reed floating over with an arm drag. That was very impressive from the challenger there, as she has sent the champion to the outside. Now Sapphire Reed looking for a bit of a risk, but no, not paying off, and then Laura Di Matteo just snapping her head first down to the mat, and another stomp. Sapphire Reed trying to fight back to her feet. She does manage to get up, but she's going to get caught by the champion, going for a suplex, but no, she does manage to get out of this one, but immediately caught again, and this time an arguably worse landing on the back of the neck for Sapphire Reed. Laura Di Matteo now just sending the challenger off. She's going to look for another stomp, and that midsection, the lungs, the ribs have to be screaming in pain for Sapphire Reed right now. Laura Di Matteo going for a big roundhouse to the abdomen, but it's not going to land. But it will land is the big belly to belly. We have seen her use that before, and she's got the champion stunned. However, the referee is up to 8 on his count. These two may be about to get counted out. It's a 9, but Sapphire Reed is back into the ring, and she's going to go for the cover off of the belly to belly on the outside. But only a 2 count. The champion is still in this one, and Sapphire Reed now needs to keep the offense up if she wants to walk away as FWA Women's Champion. She does catch her, and the Shining Wizard. This one may be over. We may have a new Women's World Champion. But no, the champion managing to roll her shoulder off the mat. She is still alive in this one. You can hear the crowd beginning to chant. They are well into this match, and then a big arm drag from Sapphire Reed. Sapphire must be beginning to wonder what she has to do to keep the champion down, especially as the champion gets a go behind. But no, big elbow to the face from Sapphire Reed, dragging Laura Di Matteo to the other side of the ring, to the ropes, trying to go for some offense, but she gets back body dropped over the top rope. The champion now so resilient, whipping Sapphire Reed back into the floor once again. Sapphire up to her feet, what she's going to look for, snap suplex on the outside, the same area that she delivered that big belly to belly. Sapphire Reed has got the champion in the most trouble. We've seen big DDT now, but you can see the damage that Sapphire has taken to her back and chest is starting to come through. Sapphire now just taunting the champion, but she knows she can't win the title this way. If Laura Di Matteo is counted out, she won't win it, as she goes up to the top looking for this risk that we saw her take earlier. Will she land it this time? It's a big belly to belly, but no, she's actually been caught by the champion, as the champion muscles her up and throws her with the fall away slam, as she bounces off the barricade. More damage to that lower back. Whipped across now. Laura Di Matteo looking to follow in with a big running elbow drop to the back again. The back of Sapphire Reed is in a world of trouble, and we know that that can easily set up the backcracker. Laura Di Matteo now just kind of playing with her food here. Sapphire Reed is in a world of trouble, and she's going to need something big to manage to get offense back on her side. Stomps to the hand. Laura Di Matteo now wouldn't think that she would go for a count now win, and she's not. She's climbing to the top rope, and she's going for the splash to the outside that we saw Sapphire try to go for earlier. but Sapphire somehow fighting back to her feet and sending the champion back into the ring. Incredible resilience shown by the challenger right now. Sapphire Reed back into the ring, but Laura Di Matteo is up to her feet, but some chops stun her back. And then a clap to the side of the head. The ears of the champion must be ringing. Shot to the spine. What is Sapphire Reed going for again? Another shot to the spine. Is she going to do it a third time? No, this time trying to send Laura Di Matteo to the other side of the ring into the turnbuckles. Big shot to the top of the head. What is she going to look for here? She's going to send her to the outside once again. Sapphire Reed on the opposite side though. Oh, sliding drop kick underneath the turnbuckle. A very nice move from Sapphire Reed, somewhat blindsiding the champion. The crowd is well into this one. The chant of this is awesome, but a guillotine on the outside. Sapphire, you can't win this match by submission on the outside. I know she may just be trying to drain the energy of the champion, but the champion has countered now, and that may have gassed the arms of Sapphire Reed in this one. But Sapphire does manage to send the champion back into the ring. She's going to go up top. What is she going to look for here? Big splash from the top. Is she going to miss? And that damaged abdomen and back of Sapphire Reed taking even more unnecessary damage as the challenger misses. Laura Di Matteo tries to put it in the corner, but Sapphire Reed countering out. You can see she's just trying to get away, but the back cracker has landed. Do we have her attention? And we do. Sapphire Reed's inexperience costing her in this match. Laura Di Matteo taking advantage of that, and she will remain your FWA Women's World Champion. Defense number 4 for Laura Di Matteo. She does get a 53 with Sapphire Reed getting a 40. That is the end of the Reed All About It push that we had going on. Obviously we built Sapphire Reed to be a very believable contender, I would say. So I think that worked pretty well with getting a 54 overall. Then the next segment would be Chantel Jordan coming out to get into the face of Laura Di Matteo and calling for her shot that she now thinks that she deserves at New Dawn, but I put them the wrong way around. Then in a 44, so a pretty decent one there as well, we would see a new undisputed British heavyweight champion crowned as Amari would defeat Krieger, Jackie Polo, Simon Miller and Will Cruz. When Omari submitted Jackie Polo, it kind of went in the fashion of Krieger and Will Cruz went into their own little offshoot, kind of like we saw before. Krieger was originally targeting Jackie Polo, chasing him around the outside before Will Cruz would get involved in that battle, putting both of them through one of the barricades, so they were kind of out of it for a little while. At that time, while that was going on, see Simon Miller and Omari going at it in the ring before Will Cruz would try and get in on both of them as well. Will Cruz really being the wrecking ball of the match. Eventually, the faces would manage to turn it around on Will Cruz, putting him out of the ring, both using their finishers to do so. Jackie Polo would get back involved, clearing out Simon Miller from the ring before Omari would start taking the fight to Jackie. Krieger would get in, hitting Jackie with the big boot before Omari would hit his spinning sidewalk slam, I guess, to put Krieger out of the ring. That's when Daz Black would get into the ring and try and help out his leader in Echelon, throwing a chair, but Omari ducks the chair. It strikes Jackie Polo. Omari takes out takes out Daz Black, as we have seen him do before. Charlie Sterling does come down to the ringside to help, but stops. Doesn't stop Omari this time, as he did in the first time that Omari challenged, where Omari would hit his finish on Jackie Polo for the 1-2-3 and win the FWA. Sorry, I actually misspoke in there. The part that I forgot to add in was that Levi Moore would be the one to wipe out Daz Black after he tried to help. So the former tag team partner of Omari actually being the one to put a stop to Echelon's attack on Omari. But like we said before, we have seen that Levi Moore says he wants to be the one to take the title off Omari if he were to win it, so maybe that is the reason he has done so. But next we move on to our main event, which I'm hoping is going to be huge. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the final time that you will hear from me here tonight at FWA 13th hour, and it is our main event time, as we will see the Cruiserweight Championship on the line as challenger Zosiah takes on Kenny Williams, the champion. 348 days Kenny Williams has defended that title for, and he has had some big defenses against the likes of El Desperado, Tajiri, and now Zosiah being his most recent challenger, a man we have seen him face before, but a man that didn't manage to walk away from a one-on-one match and a triple threat as the Cruiserweight champion, but now has another one-on-one with the threat of the Echelon being handled somewhat by other members of the roster. This main event is now truly a one-on-one competition. Zosiah, Kenny Williams, who will walk away from 13th hour the Cruiserweight champion. Intro's done, niceties over. It's time to get into the nitty gritty of this one. It's time to see if Zosiah can topple the dominant champion Kenny Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get underway. Zosiah starting things off quickly, running out with a running head scissors, dropping the champion down. You can see there is a decisive height advantage in this match for Zosiah. He is a very tall cruiserweight, standing at 6'3". Kenny Williams at 5'10". Won't back down from the challenge though, as he hits the Tiger Suplex into the cover early on. Zosiah in a world of trouble. Kenny Williams now coming off with the springboard, trying to hook up the DDT, but was just too close and gets dropped with a big German into the lower turnbuckle, it looked like, as now Zosiah going to go for the legs of Kenny Williams, maybe trying to take away some of that offense, maybe trying to take away that tilt-a-whirl DDT that he uses to such great effect. DDT to the leg from the challenger. And the offense to the leg seems to be continuing for Zosiah here as he snaps off the leg once again. Kenny Williams has to try and stem the tide here as the challenger has fully taken control of the early goings of this match. Zosiah now, couple kicks, keeping Kenny down on the mat. He wants to keep him grounded, it seems. Big running drop kick into the corner. Zosiah now going to be the first one to head to that top rope, looking for some high flying offense, calling the champion to his feet. What is Zosiah thinking here? Massive crossbody into the cover. 2 count for Zosiah, but doesn't walk away with the championship just yet. But Zosiah has completely turned this match on its head, as Kenny Williams looked like he was going to take control of the early goings, but that is commentator's curse for you right there, ladies and gentlemen, as Kenny Williams managed to push Zosiah down to the mat. Big elbows to the abdomen from the champion, trying to damage that gas box of the challenger, pulling him back in, but no, Zosiah is aware, counters back. Kenny Williams over with another shot to the abdomen, big clothesline, followed with another big clothesline, catching the leg of Zosiah and going for the sweep. Kenny Williams getting a nice little combination together. Now is Kenny Williams going to go to the legs? No. Whoa, look at the strength of Kenny Williams, just deadlifting Zosiah up to his shoulders and dropping him with a back suplex. Kenny Williams now looks like he's trying to line Zosiah up with that corner, but no, not this time round. Zosiah manages to get to his feet. Irish whip off into the ropes. What is Kenny Williams going to look for here now? Leapfrog and the drop down, and then a go behind German suplex. Kenny Williams seems to be lining up the challenger here, and he will do with a suicide dive to the outside. So Zaya now, as I was saying earlier, did have the early goings. Kenny Williams has turned it around. A shotgun dropkick. Oh, did you see the back of Zaya landing on that concrete there? But he whips the champion off into the barricade. We've seen a lot of offense on the outside. Turn matches around here tonight already. Standing moonsault from Zaya. Sending the champion back towards the ring now as the referee is at a 5 count. Zaya must know that he can't win this match by count out. But at the moment he is waiting. What is he waiting for? Zaya, you can't win the match this way. Maybe just almost laying down a challenge to the champion. But no, he's waiting for him to get to his feet. But he's overshot the champion. Kenny Williams using his speed to get close enough to the ring that the dive from the challenger has missed. Zaya though asking the fans to try and help him pump up. But he's distracted, and the champion with the slingshot crossbody to the back. A mistake on the part of Zaya, maybe a little bit of inexperience from the challenger there. Kick to the side of the head though, drops the champion. Kenny Williams in hot pursuit now of Zaya, sliding back into the ring as the action does return there. Zaya going for the whip, but gets countered. Big back elbow from Kenny Williams into the cover. 2 count off of the back elbow, and you can tell that means that this match is starting to slow. Kenny Williams, as Zaya gets back in the ring, tries to go for the springboard crossbody, but Zaya manages to get away from it enough. Now a hammer lock suplex as Kenny Williams is dropped, and we're going to see another moonsault here, but this time missing in the middle of the ring. What is Kenny Williams going to look for? Nothing, as Zaya stops his offense. However, it's countered back again. Kenny Williams with another back elbow to the face of the challenger. Going for the legs, but Zaya does manage to push him off, and things have become a little bit frantic between these two here. Kenny Williams now on the outside of the ring as Zaya is lining him up and hits him with a big shoulder tackle down to the floor. Zaya following him out there, trying to go for the kick, but it is blocked by the champion. Now big strike offense being put in from him as another double underhook suplex lands, but this time out on the floor. Zaya is in trouble, and we're going to see Kenny Williams deliver the DDT to the leg, kind of returning the favour from what we saw Zaya do to him earlier. And now Kenny Williams is taunting the challenger again, kind of what we saw Zaya doing to Kenny Williams not too long ago in this match, just brushing the dust at the challenger. Kenny Williams now delivering a shot to the back, going to send Zaya off into the corner. What will he follow it up with? Just going to go for that scoop slam, but no, Zaya does pop out the back. Big shot to the lower back, sending Kenny Williams off into the corner. And a running enziguri in the corner, and you can see Kenny Williams is on Dream Street, going for the cover. But no, Kenny Williams is still in this match, ladies and gentlemen. It is not over just yet. But Zaya is going to look to change that as he's looking to hook up something. Oh no, but countered by Kenny Williams and dropped with the inverted DDT. Kenny Williams now, tilt-a-whirl, DDT, and this is done. Kenny Williams will remain your cruiser. Oh my God. Zaya kicking out. We haven't seen anybody kick out of the swinging tilt-a-whirl DDT yet. But this is the first time, as the crowd chant "Fight Forever." This is the first time we have seen someone kick out of Kenny Williams' finisher. Now Kenny going to the top to look to finish this one off with a big stomp, and he lands it. Following up with this springboard moonsault, and he has got the challenger in the world of pain. Kenny Williams getting Zaya back up to his feet. What's he going to look for? But no, somehow Zaya is still in this match, swinging wild elbows to the abdomen, just trying to get some separation. Now some strike offense from Zaya to Kenny Williams as he whips him into the corner. What is he going to look for now? Just slamming the head of the champion into the top turnbuckle. Now setting him up upside down in the tree of woe. What could we see happen to Kenny Williams here? Nothing more than a basic choke from Zaya, but it's enough to hurt the champion. Interesting cover from Zaya here, as he does have his arm on the outside of the ring. Surprised that the referee let that one go, but it was apparently a legal cover. Kenny Williams trying to roll to the outside to get a little bit of separation from the challenger, but the challenger follows him around the other side and is going to follow him around with a fisherman's buster on the outside as well. Both men are spent, but Kenny Williams is the one that got absolutely nailed with the Fisherman Buster. Shot to the top of the head though. Josiah now. Oh no. Could we see it? Oh my god. Kenny Williams dropping Josiah on the outside, head first into the mats. And now we're going to see another Tilt-A-Whirl DDT. I think this one may be finished if Kenny Williams can get the challenger back into the ring. But no, Josiah somehow countering, somehow still alive in this match. Shot to the side of the head of Kenny Williams. Josiah delivering a big forearm shot. I'm shocked that Josiah is still alive in this match right now, following the swinging DDT on the outside. Dragging the champion into the corner. Josiah going for the scoop slam, but no, Kenny Williams does get out, but he stops his offense with a big chop. And now delivering offense to the arm is Josiah. Josiah getting Kenny Williams up on the shoulder. We're going to see that big Death Valley driver into the cover. Oh my god, I thought we had a new champion, but somehow Kenny Williams manages to kick out still. What has Josiah got left? Oh, is he going to go for it? The middle rope frog splash. We've seen him win matches with this before. Could this be the one? Yes, we have a new cruiserweight champion. Josiah has taken down Kenny Williams. And ladies and gentlemen, at 13th hour in the main event, his third attempt to win the belt, we have a new cruiserweight champion in the form of Josiah. And it is a 49, so it doesn't quite steal the show as I was expecting, but we do have a new cruiserweight champion in the form of Josiah, as he would defeat Kenny Williams by pinfall with a surprise cradle. It's obviously always going to be a good match. It's not as good a match as I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest. I thought we may see 50s there, but the Contender Battle Royal had that kind of surprise aspect about it, which is why it was so highly rated. I didn't actually expect the last match to be as highly rated as it was. We did have a creative finish in this one as well. But after that, we would get a 46 as Battle Royale winner Oliver Carter would make his appearance after crowning a new Cruiserweight champion and calls his shot for the title at New Dawn. So Oliver Carter wasting absolutely no time getting in the face of the new champion and making it very clear that he is here for gold after winning the Battle Royale. And then to finish off the show, we would have a post-match scene where Jody Fleisch would meet former Cruiserweight champion Kenny Williams backstage. Fleisch says he knows how disappointed Kenny Williams must be and that he's disappointed that he won't be challenging for the Cruiserweight Championship himself, but that a match against Kenny Williams is the next best thing and he would love to share the ring with him. Though still feeling the sting of disappointment, Kenny says it would be an honour to share the ring with Jody, and that match will be booked for New Dawn. So a 45 in that show altogether. It's a damn shame that we got this, because I think that probably could have been 50 if we hadn't got the pre-show problems. But a 45 for our first 13th hour, you can't be disappointed with that at all. I am just only disappointed with the fact, like I say, that we got screwed over with the pre-show equipment problems. But what we will do in this episode is we will do the next New Dawn as well, and hopefully that one can also be as good as this show. So in address in the locker room, I am going to praise Kenny Williams for, and just tell him that he's awesome, because he was not happy about losing to Josiah, but though I thought it was probably time that he did lose to Josiah. And we will also praise Sapphire Reed and just give her a hug. Kenny Williams seemed pleased and Sapphire Reed was pleased, so she will get a little boost. Let's see, money wise, we are going to lose a lot on this show, obviously, because we flew in so much talent. We did make 455 from ticket sales, 91 from merchandise as well. So a little bit of money coming in there, but basically the next step is to change the talent situation so that this isn't coming away as such a big loss. But popularity wise, did we go up? We should have, because it was a great show, and we haven't. Oh my goodness, man, what do we have to do to actually get popularity in this damn game? So we do have end of year awards to do as well, so we will do that in a minute. But let's take a look at 13th hour quickly, because I did want to take a look at the ratings that we got here. So Jackie Polo got a 42, Krieger actually getting the best performance. Ironically, the man that we've just crowned as the new undisputed champion got the worst performance, Simon Miller with a 39, Will Cruz with a 38. But yeah, Krieger getting a pretty good performance there, as well as Jackie Polo. Don't know how it is that Omari has gotten the lowest performance there, but did he get a popularity boost? He did get a +1 to popularity for winning the title. So yeah, interesting one. We obviously now have a very interesting road ahead, because Jackie Polo is leaving us. He actually won't. We can't actually negotiate with him at all now either. I think we do just have to let them all go. But anyway, let's look at these end of year awards first. So male wrestler of the year for 2025 is Cody Rhodes. Female is Charlotte Flair. Company of the year, unsurprisingly, is WWE. Male tag team of the year goes to Los Hios del Averno. Let me try that again. Los Hios del Averno and Mephisto have won it. Female tag team of the year is Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, which is kind of wild. Cody Rhodes versus Andrade in a tables match is match of the year. Show of the year was SummerSlam Night 2. Young male wrestler of the year is Mascara Dorada, who is 24 years old at the moment and on our shortlist actually. Young female wrestler of the year is Roxanne Perez. Male veteran wrestler of the year is Mystico. Shayna Baszler, female veteran of the year. Most improved company is Sendai Girls. Male independent wrestler of the year is Tetsuya Endo. Female independent wrestler of the year is Mei Shiruga. Male manager of the year is the Rizzler. The Rizzler as in, yeah, the 9-year-old. That is absolutely wild that the Rizzler is 9 years old. He's got 97 charisma. I like that. I like that a lot. That's funny. But yeah, a 9-year-old has won male manager of the year. Harley Cameron is female manager of the year. Play-by-play is Shinpei Nogami. Female play-by-play of the year is actually Trish Stratus. Who's she doing play-by-play for? It's for WWE as well. Color commentator of the year is... oh, that's gonna... Hirotsuga Tsuyama. Again, is he New Japan? He's actually... oh, he's died. Oh, that's just sad now, isn't it? So Kenny Williams is our male wrestler of the year. That doesn't really surprise me. Our match of the year goes to Oliver Carter, who's literally just come in, getting a 59. Card of the year goes to Ascension, one of the Ascension shows, a 45. Oh, I guess it was the same. Manager of the year is actually Jackie Polo. Color commentator of the year is obviously Madman Manson. Referee of the year goes to Niall Fox. Is that everything? We don't have any other... is that a female wrestler of the year or anything like that? Okay, well that's interesting. Why don't we have female wrestler of the year? We literally have a women's division. But yeah, so you can see in 2 days. So I do want to pre-book a couple matches for this, just so that could potentially boost our interest. So we have got a couple of bad morale here. Kenny Williams is currently annoyed because he lost his title. What do we have here? Charlie Sterling's annoyed at being left off the show. Mark Cayman's annoyed at being left off the show. And so Cyrus is annoyed at being left off show. Leon Cage is upset about being injured, which there's not really much I can do about. So I think what I'm going to do... Oh, I don't have one. I thought I had a character idea. That is unfortunate. I think what I'll do here is I'm going to give Leon Cage a couple weeks off. Just because hopefully that'll help him once he comes back. Everyone else can't really do that with right now. Thought I had a character idea to offer, but I don't. So next thing for us really, actually I wanted to quickly check our top 100 and then the top 100 wrestlers. So 13th Hour now comes in second, but is drawn with Ascension for our top rated show at the moment. Top matches, Oliver Carter's win in the Battle Royal is our top match, followed closely by Sapphire Reed versus Laura Di Matteo. So yeah, I think the next thing for us to do will be to move on to New Dawn before everybody decides to leave the company. Basically, a lot of guys are going to be leaving. If they do leave before I think they're leaving, we may find ourselves in a little bit of trouble, but hopefully I have got that right. So Luke Pazzi and Raven Creed are now gone from FWA. Again, they probably weren't at the point where it felt worthy to re-sign them, so we did decide to let them go. Like we said, we will have a couple more people leaving after today, one being Jackie Polo. So we will take a look and see what happens. Hopefully after tonight we can go up in size a little bit and then maybe start clawing back a little bit of this money that we're losing at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see, because I think New Dawn 2 is probably going to be a little bit expensive, so we'll wait and see. Right, so night off wise, I don't think we're going to give anybody the night off. What are we expecting? Not running in Scotland, stop saying that. Only 85 fans for New Dawn 2 because it's not a season finale, so not as many as we were expecting. The economy is also falling right now, which isn't very good for us. That could see us in even more money troubles, which isn't exactly what we want. But yeah, we will be using generic venue. No pre-show incidents this time, which is great. Have we got problems between David Ray and Josh Bevan? Doesn't look like it now, but obviously they were having arguments before. We are generating less creative energy right now. I do want to try and get a character idea in, which necessitates that one will be used, and we'll get a creative finish in. Bit of a gamble, we might still use that one. Don't be any tension between you guys, there isn't any locker room stuff. Jody Fleisch came to you backstage with an angle idea. That could be something we use. Nick Riley has been training Sapphire Reed, Alice Inc and June Lee. He's also been training 10 students: Eva Muir, Luke Sharp, Daz Black, Krieger, Herman Christensen, Will Cruz, Miles Kamen, Mark Bennington, Golden Boy Santos and Yu Owada as well. We don't have any Inspires this time. I don't really want to do team bonding because it doesn't ever really go well. So I think we'll go for a rib. And we may do it on Jackie Polo since he's on his way out. The rib was completed but failed to provide anything, so that's fine. Do have a little bit of this pre-booked, so I'll put that in and then we'll see where that leaves us. Alright, so this is the card we're looking at. We will have a 5v5 pre-show match before an angle on the pre-show. We will open things up then with Jody Fleisch versus Kenny Williams, followed by Alice Inc versus Sapphire Reed. We then will have another angle, including the Echelon, before Omari defends in his first defense against Levi Muir. Then the Echelon will take on some surprise opponents. Zazaya versus Oliver Carter won't follow that. Krieger versus Will Cruz will follow that before Zazaya versus Oliver Carter. And then main eventing, we will have Chantel Jordan versus Laura Di Matteo. Let's get into this, see how it goes. In the 5v5, we do open up with a 45 when we see the Faces team of Karen Noir, Herman Christensen, Ika Navarro, JJ Gale and Luke Sharp defeat Golden Boy Santos, Mark Billington, Miles Kamen, Yu Owada and Tate Mayfairs when Ika Navarro pinned Yu Owada with the Cazador It was designed to work the crowd, and it looks like it's done exactly that. Luke King Sharp getting a 40, JJ Gale getting a 44, Ike Navarro getting a 35, Christian with 16, a huge 62 from Karen Noir. I wish I could keep him around. Tate Mayfair's with a 43, Yu Awada with a 46, so I actually think I will keep Yu Awada around, and he also still has that groundswell of public support. 35 for Miles Kamen, Mark Billington coming back to earth with a 21, and Golden Boy Santos getting a 35. I really want to keep Karen Noir around. I might contemplate it, considering that we've let a lot of other talents go. And actually, just to make note of, we do have 88 people in the building today. Not the 85 that was predicted, but a nice way to start off the show for sure. Then have a segment where Muir stops the new champ Omari on his way into the building. Muir says the only reason he helped Omari win the belt, a little bit of a spelling mistake there, was because he wants it for himself, and now it's even easier that the Echelon don't have their hands on it. Muir says he's owed a title shot on once tonight. Omari says that he never needed Muir's help, and he'll happily show him who's the better of the two. And you can see here we've got a storyline starting up of Brotherhood Reborn, so something's going to be going on between Muir and Omari. First, match, an exceptional match. Kenny Williams has defeated Jody Fleisch by pinfall with a swinging DDT. Gets a 49, which is an absolutely huge performance. I loved the vibe of this match. It was kind of like original of R-Save versus original of FWA. And it's delivered on all fronts that I was hoping it was going to. Jody Fleisch getting a big 51. Kenny Williams getting a 41. Obviously, we wanted to bring in Jody Fleisch for a while. He probably won't be sticking around again because we just don't have the finances to justify it right now, considering we're trying to claw money back. But that's all to be decided in the upcoming episodes, or maybe even this episode will do some, but definitely the upcoming. But a great match between those two, and something that we definitely would want to run back, maybe even with a title on the line at some point. But a big 49 to start off the show, followed up by another great match, a 45 this time, between Alice Inc and Sapphire Reed, as Sapphire Reed defeats Alice Inc with a fast roll up, both matching each other well there with a 43 and a 44. So I think Alice Inc just got unlucky. Maybe the stipulation that we picked for her wasn't ideal for her in her match against Chantel Jordan, but showing up big in this one. We don't know how many appearances she's got left for us, but we do know that Sapphire Reed put on one of the shows of the night just a couple of nights ago at 13th Hour, and that she definitely is stepping up to be one of our future champions, hopefully, but definitely a bedrock of the division. Following that, we have another angle as Polo and Black confront Sterling about the fact that he refused to help the Echelon hold on to the undisputed title, and that he's to blame for them losing it. Just as it looks like Sterling's about ready to make a move, Nick Riley puts his hand on Sterling's shoulder and says that they'll handle it in the ring just like old times, side by side against the Echelon. Sterling agrees, and Ashton Smith makes the match, but adds that since the Echelon seem to be on the outs, that if Black and Polo lose, they will leave FWA. Now obviously we know that both Black and Polo are due to leave the company. I thought this was a good way to wrap up the Echelon storyline. We don't know if they're going to win yet, or if they're going to lose, but I think you can probably get the vibe of what's going on. In a good match, we would see Omari defeat Levi Muir by submission, making his first defense. It would be a 38. So not a bad match at all, and the Brotherhood Reborn has advanced and gained heat. 36 for Omari, 34 for Levi Muir, so actually his best performance as of yet, and Omari seemed off his game, so he could have been even higher, but a good first defense for him, not too bad at all. Next we had the tag team match between the Echelon, and I can't remember the name of Nick Riley and Charlie Sterling's tag team now, but it would be Charlie Sterling and Nick Riley defeating the Echelon when Charlie Sterling pinned Jackie Polo with a spiral tap or a moonsault, as we used, and it was booked to tell a specific story. Obviously we knew that, so that's why we did this, because we wanted a good way to write the Echelon off of the show. Basically, Nick Riley and Charlie Sterling both in the low 40s, great performances from both of them there. Daz Black with only a 33, so probably seems right that we're gonna let him go. Jackie Polo actually getting 42 though, so he did very well. There's still hints that Charlie Sterling's face turn is getting a poor performance, but it kind of is what it is. I don't know how long he'll stay face for, but it made sense for what we were doing with the story. And Charlie Sterling and Nick Riley also got a tag team specialist bonus in this one. Then we move on to a match that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Real Cruz has defeated Krieger in a dog collar match by pinfall with a Cruise Driver. It was designed to be a car crash stunt style match full of crazy and dangerous bumps, and it did exactly that. Krieger actually came out with a 41 in this one to Will Cruz's 36, but again, Krieger's another one that we don't know if he's staying around, so I kind of wanted him to give his decent performance and rub that he's had recently over to Will Cruz. Didn't necessarily come across super well, but We have a face champion now. We have a monster heel that we've been trying to build for a while, but no direction for him. Makes sense now to try and pull the trigger on that. So Will Cruz does get the win over Krieger. Desire with a 47 and Oliver Carter with a 50. Great match, and this is something that I'm looking, if we're going to keep Oliver Carter around with the talents that we're letting leave, I'm looking to run this match as many times as I can and get as many ratings out of it as I can before it gets boring, basically. But yeah, huge performance from these two guys. Exactly what I expected, and a good start to Zosiah's reign. But in our main event, it does flop a little bit, which is unfortunate. Chantel Jordan having a very poor match overall. But it was a superb match, apparently. Laura Di Matteo has defeated Chantel Jordan once again with a backcracker. It was meant to be that epic, but maybe that wasn't the right booking for Chantel Jordan. I thought we maybe had booked her well enough at the moment that she could kind of come across that way, but it doesn't seem that way. She does get 27 in this one to Laura Di Matteo's 49. But they do have great chemistry, so maybe next time I book them to face each other in whatever capacity, we make it a little bit simpler for Chantel Jordan so that she can really get the best out of her performance. But let's see what we got for the overall show rating. We only get a 38, unfortunately. How is that so low rated? I don't understand. Like, I know the main event was only a 37, but we got 49, a 41, 42, 45, 49, like a 38 in the middle, like still high 30s, and I just don't feel like that's actually going to have increased our popularity, which is going to break my heart because these were our two biggest shows, and if they haven't increased our popularity, I may have to blow my brains out. So we will give Oliver Carter big ups because he had a great performance, so we'll praise him for that. Same with, I actually think maybe Jackie Polo, since he's on his way out actually, so that's a bit pointless. We will give it to Jodie Fleisch again. I don't think we're going to keep him around. Maybe we just give it to Chantel then, though we have been praising the same people quite a lot now. And we'll tell her that she's awesome. Oliver Carter seemed pleased, Chantel seemed pleased. Do lose 2,800, so like I said, about 30 grand in the hole right now that we need to start clawing back. Well, and we still don't go up in popularity. I literally don't know what to do. I literally don't know how we're meant to increase in popularity. I know it's only our first year, but we should definitely be on 3 by now. I can't believe that our two biggest shows have come and gone and we still haven't made it to 3 popularity. This is absolutely incredible, man. Oh my goodness. My head is fully gone. I don't know what we're meant to do, but hopefully maybe after the next show. But I keep saying that and we're not improving, so I don't know. So there you go, our confirmation there that Jackie Polo has now left FWA. We can renegotiate with him if we want to. He isn't currently working for anybody else, so there's always the option of bringing him back in. Just at the moment, I don't think it's smart for what we're currently paying. He has been a great champion for us, to be fair, so we definitely can't complain about it, basically. Number 3, yeah, it looks like what has happened is that our spillover has increased to 1, but at the moment our home base has not increased at all, which is infuriating, to be honest, because I really wanted to go up there. Actually, our spillover isn't even at 1. So I don't know why this says 1, I don't know. But yeah, that is infuriating, because I really thought there we had a chance at making it to the next level, but we're going to have to rely on our next Ascension show to be the show to drive us forward here. And speaking of our next Ascension show, we need to look for a place to book it in, and at the moment it's looking like a lot of weekends are very busy here. Maybe a little cool down period, let us get our stuff sorted before our next couple of shows that we're planning on doing. A lot of decisions to be made here. Kenny obviously is fine. Krieger is due to leave us, I think. Yeah, in the next 3 days, Krieger is due to leave us, so that's another decision there to make for sure. Luke and Sharp we did re-sign, we did. Madman Manson is due to leave at the end of the month, so we've got to replace him. Mark Billington we're going to be letting go of. Yeah, there's a lot of decisions basically to be made at the moment. Obviously we've got 270 here for Oliver Carr as well, but I do kind of want to keep Oliver Carr around at the moment. So there is a lot for us to try and lock down and come up with ideas for how we're going to continue forward. But that is going to be the end of this one at least. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a shame that we didn't grow in size, but it is what it is. Please subscribe, turn the notification bell to get notified when the next episode is available to you, and I hope to see you in it. Peace.